friends, good morning. Welcome back to Devops Titan. I'm your friend Santosh Kumar, and today in this Terraform tutorial series, we are here to discuss on the second lab. I have already created lab 1 video. If you have not watched, I request you to please watch it. The link would be given in the description and it would also be coming in this blog post here on the top of this video. So you can pause and watch that first if you have missed that part. So in this series, we are going to discuss on a very important topic in Terraform, that's loops in Terraform. There are three types of loops in Terraform: count loop, for loop, and for each loop. Among all these three, count loop is very popular and most of the time we use count loop. It is very easy to understand, very simple approach, but it is a very important concept. So if you are wondering, if you have never heard about Terraform, and if you're wondering whether this video is for you or not, whether you will be able to follow, so this video is for absolute beginner. Even you have never heard the word Terraform, the beauty about the DevOps Titan is we create a blog post where we explain about that concept which we are going to explain, which we are going to discuss in the video, and then we make a video. So you can listen to this video and later on you can follow along with the blog post. And if you have any doubt, I am there available to answer your queries within 24 hours. So just drop an email. The contact details should be there at the end of each blog post. Okay, or you can comment on the blog or YouTube channel or the Facebook post, and I will respond to it within 24 hours. So with this, let's get started. And before we go, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe it and consider and click it on the bell icon so that you get notified whenever the next video comes. Okay, so let's get started. On the left hand side and on my right hand side, and the blog post on my left hand side. I'm going to follow the step by step as per the blog. So first step is copy and create a directory. So I'm creating a directory by name lab2 Terraform. You can have any directory, that doesn't matter, and then go inside that directory. Okay, the second step is get the code from lab 1. So we are going to use lab 1 code. Okay, so and we will build on top of it. So if you can get the code either from the previous blog post, the codes are there within the post itself, or you can request the GitHub link for lab 1 code, and you can directly download the code from the GitHub. I will recommend getting from the GitHub because copying from the website blog may have some additional characters copied and some typos possible. So get the code from the GitHub, and the GitHub link for DevOps Titan is little secure, so you need to request it. Provide your email ID and click on submit and subscribe. You will get that GitHub link within 24 hours. Okay, so I'm going to clone that, git clone and the link for lab 1. We'll see there will be a folder Terraform lab 1 created. Go inside that and we have all lab 1 code available here. Okay, so we completed step 2. Let's move to step 3. Create a file by name. So in this lab 1 we had 6 file. First file was for the basic Terraform versions. Second file has all variable. I have explained about all these files in the part 1. So if you have not watched that video, please watch that. So in this we are going to create this file which will hold Terraform AMI user. So let's create a file. Here you can see I have created a file. You can follow the same command and create a file. Go inside this file. Okay, and copy paste the content which is provided in this blog. So the content is this. Copy it, this file, and copy the content. Okay, Let me explain it. Here we are going to create AWS resource, and the resource type is AWS IAM user. Okay, so this name is fixed in AWS. For creating IAM users resources, we need to use this AWS IAM user. Then I have defined a value, a given name. You can give any name here. Okay, for this resource. Here I'm trying to read, count can be anything. You can keep it x, y, z. So this is a variable. Count is a variable which is trying to identify the length, like how many users are defined in variable file. So we will define now users in variable file. So whatever the number of users we will define using this function, it will identify the number of users defined in the variable file. Okay, and once the value is defined, like how many users are defined, then we are running here iterations. Okay, so it will start from 0, so index will always start from 0, and it will go to the value which is assigned, which will be assigned to the count. So count will have the actual number of users which you have defined, so it will go till value, and one by one, first it will start with 0, index value will be 0, so it will take the first name defined in that variable file for usernames, and it will create a resource with that name. Next time it will go with index value will be 1, so it will go to the second name, username defined in the variable files, and it will create a AWS IAM user with that name. Okay, oh, we'll see that while we are going to execute the command. Okay, let's save this file. I have also explained what I just explained in the video, so you can read more. Step 5, let's create a Terraform variable files which I was talking about. Okay, so create a file by this name. Okay, we already have this file which we used in the lab 1 exercise. I have explained AWS regions. So here we have defined the regions which we are going to use and what type of instance, T2 micro. Okay, and this is the key name which I used in lab 1. The same key name I am going to use lab 2. I have explained about all these in detail in lab 1, so please watch that video if you have not watched it. In this section, as per the step 5, we are going to copy this section and paste it here at the end. Okay, what it is doing. So just now we discussed, right, that username section, it will go to this, go inside this variable file, where we have defined usernames variable. It will try to find the length of this list. Okay, so here the length is 0, 1 and 2. So the length of this list will be 2, and the iteration will start from 0. So it will create 3 username. Okay, you can define any username, whatever you want. Okay, let's save this. You can define any username, whatever you want. Okay, let's save this. Move to the next section. Okay, in this one we are going to update the existing file outputs, because once the usernames are created, you can either log into AWS console and validate the username. Basically what we do as a DevOps engineer, we have many times a situation where we need to create AWS user and use its ARN values in some configurations. Okay, now to get that ARN value of that user, we can either log into AWS console and get the ARN value, or we can configure Terraform code to display the ARN value at the end. Okay, so we are going to configure Terraform output to display ARN values. So open this file. This is existing file. In the previous section we had defined to get the public IP of EC2 instance and the public DNS name. At the end you add one more section here, which is given here. Copy it and paste this. Okay, here we are going to define another block of output, and it will display ERN values of users. Okay, the description is display ERN values, and what it will do, it will go to AWS IAM Users Block, which we created as part of 7 file. The first step we created this file, right? This resource AWS IAM Users, it will go inside that section, the resource which we created under this. It will go under users, and it will try to go inside all users. So star means all users, and get the ARN values. Okay, so let's save this file. Okay, next step is execute Terraform init. Since we created a new directory before starting of this lab, and Terraform is not initialized, so we need to execute Terraform init. Oh, there are so many errors here. So this happens when we copy the code from the site which I was talking about. If we copy the code, some additional character comes which is very hard to identify. So what I'm going to do right now, I will get the code from the same code which I have copied on the website. I will get the code from the GitHub. Okay, so git clone, and let me get the second lab. Okay, so if you see here, the whatever we have added, like 7, we added this 7th file. This is the same file which we have copied on the blog, out which we copied from the blog, but there will be some hidden characters, so just avoid it and get the code from the GitHub. That's the best way. Okay, so now we need to initialize Terraform, and let's try to initialize now. It's working fine. It will take a minute. Okay, it's done. Once it is done, validate all your Terraform files which we have created, whether if there is any syntax error or not. So for that, the command is terraform validate. So it is trying to check all the files, and I have also mentioned this command on our website. So under section 8, we are going to execute terraform validate, and we got this success message, right? Next one is Terraform plan. So it will show the plan what Terraform is going to execute. And it says 5 to add. So we are going to add 5 things here. Okay, so we are going to create 3 AWS IAM user. We are going to create security group, and we are also going to create an EC2 instance. Okay, so these are the 5 things which will get added in the AWS account. Okay, so let's execute Terraform apply. And this may take couple of minutes because it will. Okay, so once we execute Terraform apply, we need to give authorization. So we need to mention yes or no. In the blog, I have mentioned how you can avoid this typing yes or no. So here there is, if you supply auto approve along with Terraform apply, then you need not to pass this additional argument like yes or no value. Definitely you want to go with it. So meanwhile, so during this, in the lab one, we have configured multiple packages, like we are installing Docker, Jenkins, Maven, Git. So all those installation will take some time, and now it has completed. You can see the ARN values which we defined under the output file. So this is the ARN value for John Doe. This is ARN value for Ratan Tata. This is the third one, ARN value for Mark Jack. Okay, and this is the IP address of EC2 instance which we have created, and this is the DNS value of that EC2 instance. Okay, so it got created. Now if we try to check, if we try to validate it by logging to AWS, we can do that. If I search IAM and go under users, okay, we'll see all those users which we have created just now using Terraform plan. So you can see these three names got created. Other two were having for past 5 to 6 days. So these three got created today. Okay, so this is how you can create AWS users using AWS users, or you can very well use this count loop to create any other AWS resources. Okay, so now let's go back to our lab, and whatever we have created we should delete. If this is only for your lab purpose, then Terraform destroy hyphen auto approve. Okay, so it is going to delete all the resources which we created, all 5 resources which it had added here. It will delete all those. So meanwhile, we are going to have many more such demos, labs in this Terraform tutorial series. So please subscribe to this video, and also if you are looking for GitHub link, and I will recommend get the code from GitHub link. Please submit your request, which is available on our website. Even at the end of this blog, I believe I would have mentioned it. Yeah, so just mention your email ID, click on submit and subscribe. Sometimes if it is you may receive this the GitHub link within couple of hours also, but maximum time is 24 hours. So within that you will get the code. And see here, we have completed destroy command, and um, I will say we have completed this second lab. I will come back with other two blocks and two labs. So those will be Terraform lab 3 and 4, where we will discuss about for and for each loop. So if you are working as a DevOps engineer and you deal with Terraform, it is very important to understand these loops. Okay, so please subscribe, and we hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.